Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your August soul session. I am Marlo, if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back. Oh no, we're not doing that. Look, we did this in the extended. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and what's not whichever. And if you resonate with this message, be sure to, tickle my like button and stuff, child, because, my like button is a little kinky and, she's into that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So help a sister out. And in the event that you're interested in the extended for this here reading, then the link for it is in the description box below this video. In that extended, we look at, the 15th through the end of the month, as well as a little sneak preview into September. Yeah, I'm saying. So anywho, let's go ahead and jump into your cards. The first card out we have is the Seven of Wands in the reverse. You know what I'm saying? Next, we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse, which is interesting. All of this fire energy that's coming up for my wonderful Pisceans, right? So the vibe I'm kind of getting with this Pisces is coming out of August. Coming out of July. I'm so sorry, child. I'm trying to project y'all into September. Is coming out of July into August. It's more or less an energy that I'm feeling of kind of succumbing to the energies that have been coming towards you. So what it feels like to me is my Pisceans are feeling attacked, right? And that's whether if it's energetically attacked or, feeling people at work are attacking you or feeling, family or responsibilities. It's like a whole bunch of things that are coming at you at once. And I feel like literally first week of August, like first couple of days, and that's kind of bleeding into a little bit of the latter part of July. Because I feel like all of this stuff coming at you legit happened in the month of July. But I feel like it's kind of like not saying that you guys quit or you gave up the fight per se. It's just that you're tired, right? So coming into the month of August, it's like you guys are just exhausted. But the thing I have to say in reference to this, though, is the reason, I'm not going to say the reason why, and I'm not going to necessarily say this for everyone. It's like if it resonates, then, pick it up. If it don't, then just put it down, babe. But here's the thing. I feel the reason why you guys feel kind of, all this stuff is coming at you because there's a little bit of like a lecture of standing your ground, right? It's like not having established like stern boundaries, right? Like this is my tap out point. This is my limit. This is my bedtime. This is how much overtime I'm working. This is how much of your shit I'm going to take. And past that point, it's like, I'm not doing it anymore. But I feel with this Seven of Wands in the reverse, it's really coming off to me almost as if it's kind of like overcompensating. You know what I mean? And I feel whatever this is, right? Like whatever these little dark distractions are, because it kind of feels like, and I said a little bit of this with Taurus, it's an energy of like should, oughts, and supposed tos. That's why I say responsibilities, because this could be like your kids, this could be your job, this could be your partner, this could be your friends. And it's this concept. And Pisces, y'all on that type of time, y'all already know that I stewed for, 9.5 months in a Piscean womb. You know what I mean? I have, all my Taurian placements. I got like exactly 4 freaking placements. They're not all in Taurus, but I have 4 freaking 12 house placements in my chart. Like, that's why I love Pisces. My best friend is a Pisces. Like, I fools with y'all. You feel what I'm saying? But anywho, but it's like, I know you guys have a tendency to be self-sacrificial. You have a tendency to put the people you love and you care about and that you adore ahead of yourself because that's the right thing to do. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel in a sense, it's a little bit of self-betrayal that I'm seeing with this because I feel like it was a long time ago when you reached your limit. You feel what I'm saying? But the only thing that kept you pushing was because of those should, oughts, and supposed tos. This is what a good daughter or son should do, ought to do, supposed to do. Like, I'm supposed to stretch myself thin. That's what a good person does. You feel what I'm saying? So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. And I feel coming into August, you guys may be feeling a sense of fatigue because you're crumbling under the weight of all of this in a sense. And the reason for that is because there's an imbalance, right? But the other aspect of this is whatever this is for you guys individually, what you've been focusing on and overcompensating for, doing the most for, self-sacrificing for, whatever the case, I feel that it's taken your attention away from what's actually important to you. And with this Eight of Wands in the reverse, I feel in the first week of August, it's almost kind of like you guys coming into the realization of how you sacrificing for someone else is kind of, coming home to roost, if you will, right? Because I don't necessarily feel this as like a blocked energy per se. It feels to me as like a temporary delay. You know what I mean? It's kind of like something just kind of stalls, if you will, right? And I feel the reason why this is coming up is because there's an insight that you need to have into this. Because I feel whatever this is important to you. And the thing I'm hearing specifically, child, this is so interesting because I don't usually begin messages like this and things of the sort. But this feels to me like travel for some of you guys, where it's like maybe there was like a retreat or like a self-care kind of trip thing, or like a hobby, or, something along those lines. It's something that would have been really cathartic to Pisces that you really wanted to do. And I don't feel it like, like, oh my gosh, it's the end all be all. It feels something as simple as missing an early bird registration date type of thing, right? Where you saw this thing and you were like, oh my gosh, I would really love to do that. Like where I'm at in my life right now, this would be so cathartic for me, right? But what ended up happening is because whatever this is related to, whatever these, unnecessary burdens that you're taking on, violating your own boundaries because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do. You feel what I'm saying? It's like this ended up becoming like a dark distraction to your own progress, right? I'm sorry, y'all. I just drank a Red Bull. But anywho, I feel with this, it's like the reason why this is coming up in the first week of August is because this is giving us insight into what the theme for the month is, right? This is what you guys are going to be working out. So it's not saying with this Eight of Wands, like, oh my gosh, like, the brakes are pumped and this is over. Like this is a done deal. There's no way to, oh gosh, I'm about to have another card avalanche. Oh, please don't fall because I don't want to pick up on them cards. There's too many cards. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait. Oh my God. This happened in another reading. Oh, okay, please just stay right there. Don't leaning Tower of Pisa on me. Just stay right there. Okay. I'm so sorry, Pisces. Okay, my bad. All right. Okay. We're gonna keep it going. I saw it out the corner of my eye and I said, Lord, just let me catch it. Because I really don't like picking up cards off the floor. But anywho, but the thing with this is though, it's like, I don't feel like this is anything like of like heavy concern, like, oh my gosh, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And like, now that this is happening, like you're just like screwed. No, I don't feel it like that. I just feel that this little delay that's coming up, and for some of you guys, like I said, specifically, it's literally travel. So it's like you having to pay full price for this particular retreat or concert or, meditation thing, whatever it is, right? That's kind of like a wake up call from spirit that's saying, hey, the only reason why you've missed out on this is because you're so focused on everyone else or everything else. But what about you, Pisces? What about you? You're important, right? What you desire is important, right? And I'm not going to go on a whole, Gestalt therapist rant with you guys, but I'm just going to give my little 2 cents. But legit in Gestalt therapy, should oughts and supposed tos are like, the death of a person's autonomy, and it's like the birth of our conditioning, because we are always, until we're awakened, living our life. And even times after we start to wake up, there's still this residual energy where we're still living life through should, oughts, and supposed tos, because and why, like, it's said that way for it to stick in your brain. Well, I ought to do that. I mean, I'm supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And anything that's a should, ought, or supposed to means that it's coming from an authoritarian force outside of yourself, which means that there's a force or a collective or a person outside of yourself that's more important than your individual person. And that's the problem, and not saying that on some narcissistic type of stuff, but no one's opinion, thoughts, expectations are more important than your own, because you are important. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a requirement for you to fit into any type of box or mold. But I feel, in a sense, with you guys, it's almost like that's the prison that you guys are in, but I feel like it's a very subconscious one. And child, look, we're not gonna get extra deep with it, but I feel like if we were to look at this in the vein of dark distractions and like adversarial energy that comes in to influence you, this would proverbially be your Achilles heel, because of the characteristics of your, sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, whatever you're watching this for, right? Because you have a predisposition to self-sacrifice, right? And even though that is a predisposition, it's the fact that there's work that we can do on ourselves to combat things like that. And it has a lot to do with what the whole theme of Leo season is, which is self-worth, self-love, not, partaking in love substitutes and things of the sort. So that's why I feel like this is a little hiccup that happens to get you to realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on something that is very important to me for other people in those should, oughts, and supposed tos, or, I have to pay more for it, or I have to push back this trip, whatever the case. It's like I'm kind of stalled out in this first week, but all of this is happening for you to realize why. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that you don't have free will and you can't make choices, or to blame other people, because, you chose, but you was distracted. But the whole premise is for you to realize this level of distraction, right? Now, with this 9 of Wands in the reverse, this is the thing I think is so beautiful about it. Is this is more or less like a recovery point. It's you kind of realizing, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the thing. Like, why am I doing this thing? Right. And it's a little bit of like a motivation to want to come out of agreement with this. But at the same time, I do feel energy with this 9 of Wands in the reverse, of where you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I keep choosing other people over myself. I want to choose myself. But I feel once you start engaging with other people, you still would have this sense of paranoia, this lack of trust, which is exactly, and like, child, I don't know if you have Taurus in your chart, but I would legit watch Taurus. And I'm literally like saying that to the entire collective. I'm gonna make a whole announcement about it and things, because Taurus, and I still have to look at the Scorpio reading I did before 2021, where we talked about like the Antichrist and all that stuff, because I think that Taurus is like the other side of that. And those of you who, dibble dabble in astrology like myself, um, you understand that, the North Node is in Taurus and the South Node is in Scorpio. So for me, and I mean, Uranus is in Taurus too, but I also feel that it's like a collective message, because I'm seeing a lot of themes that I saw in Taurus. So I feel like even if a person does not have Taurus in their chart, it's a lot you could garner from that, because collectively we're all under that energy. But I spoke to them about like this level of paranoia and a distrust, and like how it is that shuts down our heart chakra. You feel what I'm saying? So that's something that I want you guys to be cautious about. The whole thing that's really going to carry you through this little is not is paradigm is not hypervigilance, not defensiveness, not paranoia. That is not going to get you where you're trying to go, babe. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my gosh, everyone's taking advantage of me. The thing that's going to help you out a great deal is trusting your discernment, your intuition, and having faith that you're going to be carried through this. Now, looking at the next week, we have child. Look, that came out for Taurus and their extended child. Look, y'all going to stop playing with me today. Y'all going to stop playing with me today with all these Taurus cards. We have the Fool in the reverse. And of course, that's Aries energy. I love how you got two major arcanas right here. That's the Fool in the reverse. That's Aries energy. And then we have the Hangman in the reverse. In reality, this is Piscean energy, you know what I'm saying? But one day when I was doing a reading, I totally forgot, like my mind went blank. And I was like, we're just going to start saying this is for Cancer, Pisces, and Aquarius. So just go ahead and, see where that apply. I'm just going to go ahead and just throw these real quick just because I want to be extra. Okay. Who is that? What is that? Scorpio and Gemini. Just throwing that out there. That might be relevant too. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be extra right quick. But anywho, but with the Fool in the reverse here, it's a fear of having faith. Now, mind you, I just said with the Nine of Wands in the reverse, the thing that's going to carry you through is trusting in your discernment, pushing through the veil, and having faith that things are going to work out in your favor. But this Fool in the reverse is in direct contrast to that, right? So the whole thing is, this is speaking to me of like a belief system that my Pisceans have. And it's, dude, this is just like freaking Taurus's reading. It's so crazy. They had the Ten of Swords right here, and it was the Six of Wands in the reverse that was right here. But the whole thing is, it's like, it's not having a confidence and a trust, but I feel like with you guys, with this being a major arcana, it's more etheric. It's like, and I talked about that in Taurus's extended, where I talked about like, something in therapy that we see those therapists that are, spiritually aware, is that if, and this is specifically for women, if you're a female and you had negative experiences with men in the early part of your life, specifically your father, because God more often than not is depicted as Father God, as a man, right? However it is that you have gathered in your mind of how it is that your father figure or men in your life have treated you, and meaning like legit hella past tense, right? Like what's seared into your subconscious by the age of 6 type of things, your love definition, all that stuff. You have a tendency to struggle with trusting God or having faith because you're trusting and having faith in detrimental situations like jumping off of a freaking cliff, i.e., right? With a person who's a male that's a father figure. And if you didn't have a father figure that made you feel safe and made you feel that you could trust and rely on them, like, how can I trust in a thing that I don't see that just talk to me in my head if they do, to, and trust that my whole life is going to pan out in my favor when my human parental figure didn't do that? You feel what I'm saying? So it's a level of emotional unavailability here. And I know that that's like a hot button term, which is why I wish people would stop using mental health and psychology words on YouTube when they're not therapists or social workers. You know what I'm saying? I just wish people would stop doing that. Psychologists, psychiatrists, unless you're one of those, just stop doing that, because it waters down the terms and it gets like fused with things it shouldn't be with. Because with emotional unavailability, that's something that people usually coin in reference to relationships. And it's usually something that's projected only onto men, which is not correct, right? But it's like with this Fool in the reverse, it's a fear of surrendering fully to love. And when we speak of love, it's not the 3D human understanding of love. Like we're talking about like agape, like true universal unconditional love. And even that has become a dirty word. Thank you, twin flames. But anyway, but legit, the truth of the matter is there's a fear of taking a chance. So it's this mindset of the thought of, if I don't do it, who else will? And oh my gosh, I'm getting a very specific message from my guides in reference to this. This even speaks to people who, or a person rather, a collection of persons, individual people that may have a sick or ailing parent, right? And your siblings either live a distance from you, or you're an only child. I know it's not an only child. It could be, but how I'm feeling this is more or less the only child who's present. So it's either like your siblings just, ain't shit, or they live at a distance and can't come to help. But it's a Piscean person who's looking at this like, if I don't take care of mom or if I don't take care of dad, like who else is going to do it? Like I have to do it. This could also be a Pisces that's a single parent, right? Where it's like, if I don't do it, no one's going to do it. So it's this mentality that you have, but it's not understanding like these subconscious influences or the programming that comes into that. Because like I said, child, this is so much like Taurus, because in Taurus is extended, I talked about attachment issues. Like if you have what is it, inconsistent attachment. I think I used that word wrong. I don't think it's inconsistent. It's one of those. I forgot. But and the other one is anxious attachment. I mean, all the attachment styles, child. I mean, not the fourth one, but it's like avoidant, it's like inconsistent, and I think I'm using that word wrong. But it's been a long day of therapy, and y'all bear with your girl. And the last one is insecure. It's like that comes from family households where your needs were either completely not met at all, or there was like a level of inconsistency where you would get your needs met sometimes, you would feel safe sometimes, but other times you wouldn't, right? But all of that affects us as adults. Like go Google John Bowlby, like you can learn a lot. But I feel with that, there's a level of independence that came in where it's like a self-sufficiency, but where it's imbalanced is because you're like on your super save a hoe type of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, if I don't do it, no one else will. But at the same time, it's like you're violating your own sanctity as an individual human because you're doing more than one person should. That's why I say it's like I get the energy signature of a single parent, because that's something, and this is something, because I mean, me as a single mom, this is something I literally talk to single moms about all the time. It's like, you cannot be mom and dad. You cannot, because you're one human being. Like dad is a role, mom is a role. It's like, however it is that you identify, you just one of them. Okay. But you cannot be both. And a lot of single mothers have a tendency to feel as if they have to be both. And shout out to my little brother. He's not going to watch this because he's a Sag. But, you know, he's a single daddy. And him and I literally just had this conversation like a few weeks ago, because with him being a single dad of a little girl, she's gorgeous. Like before I got rid of all of my social media, it's like you probably saw my little niece on my stories. But it's like, I was shocked to hear him say that, because I was like, oh my gosh, you're like a dude. I didn't know that dude felt like that. Because he feels the same way. He's like, I feel like, you know, I'm a dude, like I'm structure, nurturing. And he's like, I'm kind of wondering, like, do I need to be like more feminine and like more nurturing? You know what I'm saying? And I told him the same thing. It's like, dude, you have to be what you are. Your dad, be a dad. If you're a mom, be a mom. You know, because all of that stuff is kind of, well, it's not even kind of, let me just be blatantly honest with you, Pisces. All of that stuff comes from a place of feelings of inadequacy and guilt, right? Because of, for whatever reason why the other parent isn't there, you feel as if you need to overcompensate, but you were not designed to overcompensate. You were not designed to be all things for all people, because you are not God. You just an aspect of God. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I feel that this hella feels like a single parent too, where it's like you're doing the most. And I mean, literally looking at this, it's like stalling out. Like, child, look, they showing me these cards in a whole nother way. Speaking specifically to all my single parents out there, shout out to you. We should start a club or something. But anyway, it's like if you're a single parent, you're overcompensating in so many ways and you're stretching yourself so thin. And like this Eight of Wands in the reverse stalling out, I do feel in a sense that this could legit be something where you miss an opportunity to do something, because it's like you're running all day. Or, I mean, you could just flat out get sick, child, so where you just get laid out on your back by spirit, because spirit like, slow the hell down. You're doing too goddamn much. I've been trying to send you the little repeat numbers and the little signs and synchronicities, the little songs, and your ass ain't been listening, but that's not the head nor there, right? Or it could literally be if you went on a staycation, vacation, or a retreat, that your mind is still so worried about everyone else with this paranoia with the Nine of Wands, that it's like it's failure to launch with the Fool in the reverse. everything you thought that you would get from this yoga retreat or this silent retreat or whatever the case, or this weekend away from the kids, it's almost as if you didn't even have the release because your mind and your energy signature was still in that same place as if they were there, right? Now, the beautiful thing that I see with this, beautiful and, little something, with this hangman in the reverse is, of course, with this, I do see a sense of there could be some enlightenment that happens, much like I said with the first week, because we're talking about second week now. It's like when this thing stalls out, it's like, yeah, you could like have the aha moment where it's like, holy shit, I had no clue that this is what it is that I was doing. Like I'm doing the thing. I am over, compensating, stretching myself too thin. That's best case scenario. But in the event that you don't, there is the potential with this as well that I saw this. Oh my gosh, Spirit, tell me what was it? What was it? What was it? This was in Cancer's soulmate session, the love readings that I did for mid-July. I saw some, and then that's so funny since I, just decided to erect myself as like tarot goddess and say that this is Pisces, Cancer, and Aquarius. So that's totally relevant. But it was in Cancer soulmate session, where this card came out representing the Cancer. And I was saying that you had an aha moment and you came to an enlightened place, but you wrong. It's like you had an aha, but the aha that you had isn't in alignment with what's the real truth. It's like a conclusion that you came to, like, to justify this. And what am I talking about of how this relates to Pisces? Well, I'm feeling that similar energy in the sense that you can feel well, I didn't mean to say it like that. I was just going to say victimized, but it came out, okay, Freudian slip. You feel self-victimized. If you feel self-victimized, that means you just woke and enlightened and you aware of the fact that you are already victimizing yourself, but that's neither here nor there. But what I was trying to say is you feel victimized. It's like, oh, I get it. The reason why all of this stuff is happening, because it's like, I'm being attacked. Like I am the victim in all of this. I asked for none of these things. And granted, you may not have, but you do have free will and you can choose what and what not to engage in. And now my guides are bringing me back to the whole thing with the parent caretaker. There is such of a thing as compassion fatigue, dude. And I tell people who are caretakers for anyone, parents, kids, whatever, spouses, it doesn't matter. It's like you're still a human being. And I mean, there's literally therapeutic modalities that are support systems for those who are caretakers for loved ones, because there is a level of overcompensating. And there are often thoughts about things of like, if I don't do this, then who else will do it? But you need to understand that you're a human being, right? It's like you got the same 7-pound brain in your head that the rest of us got. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get tired like everyone else. You put your little pantses on. That's a little New Orleans word for y'all. It's not pants down here. It's pantses. You put your pantses on one leg at a time. You know what I'm saying? So you're not superhuman. And just because there may be pressure on you, right? There's always resources that are out there willing to support people, which is so important. That's why I always stress the importance of community, right? There are organizations out there that can help with a myriad of different things that you can fathom, right? So the reason why I feel like this is coming up, Pisces, is because what you don't want to do is go into this externalization process where now you start projecting. Because the moment you start projecting and saying, ooh, I get it, and I'm not shaming, blaming nobody. I'm just saying this on two sides, because I say this can go two different ways. It could be a straight aha moment where you're like, poof, pie, surprise, I got it, which I would like to think that most of y'all would do, because I mean, your Pisces and your little psychic babies and things of the sort. But anyway, but for others of you, if you have that aha moment, especially if you have Cancer in your chart and you're like, I get it. I am a victim. I am being attacked. Like it's because I'm a light being and I am called by spirit. And it's all of these like dark adversarial energies and demons that are coming after me because they're trying to suppress me so that I don't fulfill my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Or like, they're just jealous and da da da. Like if you start doing all of that, then you're externalizing it. You feel what I'm saying? You're externalizing your experience, and now you're going to start projecting. So now it's like you're never going to look at you as the problem, because the rationalization you've given yourself is like, I am of the light. Jesus loves me, right? These just some little demons. And that actually will keep you stuck in this place, right? Because mind you, there's nowhere for the hangman to go. It's in the reverse. Come on, autofocus. Don't be a dick. Thank you. There's nowhere for the hangman to go. Even if you're in the reverse, we turn this motherfucker upright. You still in the same goddamn place. And that is the illusion of this. It's like, and oh gosh, my guy's really on one today, child. They literally just said, and also the illusion of life. And I'm like, oh, so y'all want to get real deep with it. Because it's like, even if you get woke, motherfucker, you still trapped in this bitch though. This is so funny. You are still trapped in this bitch. Like, you still in this goddamn body. I don't care how woke you is. You're still in this damn body having a human experience. So you could be woke all you want. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that, you know, when you transition, if you get out this incarnation cycle, you know what I'm saying? That just got real deep. Okay, come through, guys. I feel you. But with the Six of Wands being here, this is part of the reason why that I feel that it's less likely that you guys will go into self-victimization mode, because I don't feel any of this would be coming up. God forbid me of all people being the one to give you this message, because you know ain't anybody got no time for that. We don't do no self-victimization over here at tarot therapy. You understand what I'm saying? So I highly doubt that that message would be coming up saying that there's people who are going to backslide. But these are thoughts that may come up for you guys during the second week of August. And of course, there's important things that are happening. The 8th is, of course, Lionsgate portal 8-8. And the creepy thing, it's a void moon leaving out of Sag, going into Cap. And it's 8 hours and 8 minutes long. Crazy shit's happening. Once again, number 8 came up in Taurus's reading. Y'all just need to go ahead and watch Taurus reading. Listen to your friend Marlo. Moving right along. But also on the 11th of August, hopefully I'm not wrong about that, we have the full moon in Aquarius, which is also one of the signs that I say about this core. I'm just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and say and call it for you guys, Pisces. The full moon's going to be hella important to you guys. So what it is that you release or you hold on to for this full moon, right? It could either be you holding on to like, oh my gosh, I'm a victim, or it could be you being a victor. And it's all a matter of perspective, because that's what we're really talking about with the hangman. It's a matter of perspective. And this is so fucking lit. I just love my guys. They're so lit. But which I'll ratchet asses. But anyway, it's all a matter of perspective, because at the end of the day, we're all still bound in the earthly realm. So you can, and that goes back to what I said with Taurus. It's all about whether you decide with your will, right, to believe that life is happening to you, or believe that life is happening for you. Because those are two paths that we can walk in this life, but all of us are still bound by our fleshy bodies. You feel what I'm saying? It's just all about how you choose to experience what it is that you're experiencing, because what is happening is simply what is happening. And the only power that we have is to decide how we choose to respond to what is happening. We have no control over what happens when it happens, only to how we respond when it does. And I feel with the Six of Wands, that's your ultimate victory. So if we were to just pretty much sum up what the first 2 weeks of August are all about for you guys, and stressing again that the 8-8 portal and that the full moon are 2 very important days for you guys, because I feel like some spiritual work should be done that day, you know what I'm saying? A little heart chakra work and things, since that's the theme of things. But how it is that you're going to find your victory in the month of August is going to be in that shift in perspective. Right? You can alter the course of your life with a simple change of the mind. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, Pisces, that has been your soul session for August 1st through the 15th and whatnot or whatever. And I'm going over to my network, Our Sanctuary, to do you guys extended and Patreon, YouTube members, Vimeo, all the places. And I have to do my little shameless plug really quick about the study group that I'm starting, or started, depending on when you watch this, on the 31st of July. It's the book Conversations with God. Absolutely love it. Altered the course of my life. Shout out to you, Neil. You know what I'm saying? And we're doing like a deep dive study on it. And I feel it's going to help people like a shit ton. I'll talk more about that in Taurus when you go watch it. But anyway, we're starting that. So if you're about that life, it's only for my members, like everyone who's a member on YouTube, members, everyone that's a member on Patreon, everyone that are members of my organization, our sanctuary, which is what I always refer to as the network. We're opening it to everyone. So if you're a member, then, just holla at your girl and, show up to class and things of the sort and whatnot or whatever. But if you want more information on it, go ahead and go into the community tab on YouTube and you can find out more about it. But anywho, enough about that. I love you, face. I'll see you guys sooner than later, my friends. And I say kiss, kiss now. I know it's lame as fuck, but so am I. So kiss, kiss, bitch.